channel. For those of you who don't know me, or if you've never been here before, welcome. My name's Rachel and I'm the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a great week so far. Today's video is another thrift flip, and if you've been following along for a while, you know I've been diligently working, trying to get some of the items in my stash in my kitchen finished and out of there, and today is no exception. I pulled a few more items out of there for today's video, two of which I'd actually started on and never finished and then just set aside and left. So I actually got them done and I'm really happy with how they turned out. And then the third item was one that I kind of knew what direction I wanted to go with it, and I am also really happy with how it came out. Anyway, I hope you liked today's video, and if you do, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and then just hit that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. Also, I always love hearing from you guys, so remember to let me know which of the projects in today's video is your favorite. So without further ado, let's get to those projects. This first project was a bit of a quandary for me. I had painted it and really wasn't sure I liked it and just had set it aside, trying to decide how I wanted to proceed. So what I had done is I painted it with DIY's Old School, which is the dark gray underneath, and then I did a dry brushing technique with DIY Farm Fresh. I don't know if it's the color combination that I wasn't really happy with or what exactly the deal was there, but I had just kind of set it aside and forgotten about it. So today was the day to finish it up, and I decided a good place to start was to seal the paint. And for that, I'm just using one good even coat of DIY's Big Top. Once that was done, I liked it, but it needed a little something. And so I went in with DIY's gold gilding wax. And I am just putting a little bit of that wax on the tip of my finger and then rubbing my finger over the raised details in this piece to give it kind of an aged and antiqued look. I'm sorry for the footage. My camera was kind of at a wonky angle, so I had to zoom in real tight, but I think you get the picture. And I think this was actually the perfect touch to finish off this piece, and I really like how it came out. Project 2 is another one that I painted and then set aside, and it has been sitting in my storage area for probably close to a year. I really don't know why. So I decided it was time to finish it up, and I wanted to put some decoupage paper on the bottom of it. Now it's already painted with two good even coats of DIY's Apothecary, but I really wanted the paper to stand out, so I painted the bottom with DIY's White Swan. Then I'm going in with my liquid patina, and I'm just setting the one end down into the liquid patina and then lifting it and going back and slowly working my way across the bottom of the piece, laying down the fabric as I go. Once that's done, I go over the entire thing with one more good even coat of liquid patina. Then I decided this really needed some handles, and I was going to use some jute or twine, whatever, to make some handles for it. First thing I needed was some sort of a template so that the handles were even on both sides. So I cut out a piece of paper the same width as my box and measured out to the center, and then from that I went 1.5 inches on either side and then 1 inch down and poked holes in the paper. Once I had that done, I was able to just put my paper on the box and draw myself my holes where I needed to drill. Then I drilled holes all the way around, 4 of them, And I ended up having to sand a little bit and repaint. I didn't get any footage of that, but it made a little bit of a mess. But once I cleaned it up and got it all ready, I needed to seal it, so I went over it with one good even coat of DIY's Big Top to get that part done. Then it was on to creating the handles. And so again, I'm just using this jute rope, and I cut off a couple pieces the length I thought I needed and just tied knots in the ends, cut off the excess, made sure that both of my sides looked like they were pretty much even, and again cut off the excess once I got the knots made. And then this piece is finally finished and out of my storage area, and I have to tell you, I really like how it turned out. For my third and final project for today, I had this wood frame that I wanted to get done and out of my kitchen. Now this thing had an old landscape canvas in it that was super dated, so I had taken that out and I decided I wanted to make this a functional piece. But the first step was to make it pretty. So I went in with blue or Bohemian Blue by DIY, which is this absolutely gorgeous, like dark aqua color. I absolutely love it. And this paint is so highly pigmented that I almost was good to go with one coat of paint. So for my second coat, I used my water mister and just gave it a really thin coat. That also helps to alleviate a lot of the brush strokes and just make the paint very smooth. Once that was done and the paint was completely dry, I went in with my damp shop towel and did some distressing. Now, the paint is so dark and the wood is so dark, you couldn't really see the wood through the paint, but I wanted to distress it nevertheless, so I went ahead and did that. Now, I also didn't want to tint the paint at all by waxing it with a colored wax. So for this one, I am just going over it with one good even coat of DIY's clear wax. I'm using my wax brush to put that on, and I am using just my regular shop towel to wipe back any excess. Once that part was done, I got to remove my tape and then re-tape so that I could paint and wax the little strip of wood on the inside of this frame. I used the same process on the inside little piece of wood and just gave it two good even coats of the Bohemian Blue, followed by clear wax. Then it was finally time to remove the tape for the last time and move on. Now, as I said earlier, I did want this to be a functional piece, and my first thought was to make this into like a cork board that you could stick tacks in, and I thought I would cover some foam board with fabric, and that would be easy, and I would just leave it at that. So I measured out my hole, gave myself some straight lines on the foam board, cut out my piece to fit, made sure that it fit in the hole, and all was well. Then I went ahead and started to adhere the fabric to the foam board, which was fine. But then I thought, what happens if you put a bunch of tacks in this and it starts to wear out over time? So I went in kind of a different direction, and for some reason I didn't get footage of it. But what I did is I took two strings of jute and I stapled it to the back of the wood frame, and then I hung little paper clips from it. You'll see that coming up shortly in the final video. But for now, this is just me putting the fabric onto that foam board, making sure that it is nice and straight and that there aren't any bubbles or any spots where the glue didn't stick. And like I said, once I got that done, I used Quick and Thick, Tight Bond Quick and Thick to glue that down. And you can see how absolutely gorgeous that fabric looks with the blue bohemian color. I love how this piece turned out. Can't wait for you to see it. liked it, and if you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I also wanted to remind you that any of the DIY products you saw me use in today's video can be purchased from me through my website at www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. It's in the description below also. And don't forget to comment and let me know which of the projects that I did for today's video was your favorite. For Tuesday, I actually have a little thrift haul for you. It will not be long because it's not a huge one, but I wanted to have at least something for you on Tuesday. So my husband and I went to the Goodwill bins on Sunday, and the reason we did is because we had gone clear out to a car show that ended up not being a car show because no cars showed up. And since we were out there, 2 blocks away was the brand new Goodwill bins that they just opened not too long ago. So we decided, what the heck, we'll go check it out. So we did. And we rambled around in there for probably 2 hours and really didn't find a whole heck of a lot, but I wanted to at least show you what we did find. So that'll be on Tuesday. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a great 4th of July, and I will see you back here on Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.